All right, hello everyone, and welcome back to the Royal Arena. This is going to be the Group B group stage matches here, and we've now got a best of two going on between ProDotA and Question Mark. I'm Android, being joined once again by Motpax. How you doing, man?
10 seconds remaining.
Motpax, you're muted in TeamSpeak.
5 seconds.
Well, Dota TV heard my wonderful ideas. Shout out Dota TV. So, no, I was saying, how are you on such a great day? How's it going over in Colorado?
I'm doing good. We got a lot of spiders here in the studio, but
Right, nice, good.
it's all working out. You really blend in with the ecosystem here. We got moons, we got ducks, we got spiders, and now we have got a Marana Shadow Demon, but on different teams.
10
Excited to see how this plans out.
It's interesting that they left in the Drow first overall. Like, they went for the Kunkaban in the fourth, so ProDotA pick up the Marana. Basically, they're saying, like, okay, like, we'll allow you to take Drow first if that's what you want. We'll give it to you first overall. They take the Marana instead, a little bit more versatile. And then answering back with the Shadow Demon Sand King. I think we can assume this will be the offlane Sand King more than likely. I guess there is always that mix-up potential, but certainly his most powerful role as of late. Does well against some of that earlier push, too, as long as he can have a decent Blink Dagger timing.
Ooh.
And there is the Drow. So they're well ready for the Drow lineup. Like, they know that that's definitely a big possibility when they open Marana. So I think both teams pretty content with what they got out of the opening stage.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely like the Drow pickup here. I kind of thought, maybe she's dead, maybe the time of the Precision Aura reign is over, but oh, hell
Never.
no. We're just all
Too
up in
good.
it. We've got two archers now for ProDotA, looking to get the most out of the early push. So assuming Drow position 1, Marana up in that mid lane, what else are you expecting to see in terms of synergy on ProDotA?
Well, let's see. Now you've got me thinking, because I was just thinking, who are the other archers in the game? Wind Ranger, Medusa. Is there a fifth? Can you go full 5-man archers? Oh, Clinks.
Clinks, yeah, dude. Got your bone, man.
Wow. I didn't even know there was an
They're
archer
all
line. Is there a
ranged, dude.
sixth?
That's, my Dota hero
I
poster's
mean, like,
upstairs.
Enchantress throws some lances. I mean, that's pretty cool, but it's no bow and arrow.
No, you
All right,
you
well, we'll
gotta
go
have
with
the
that. I'm
bow.
sure someone will think of one. Give yourself a prize. If you guys can come up with a sixth one, there probably is.
There's probably like 10 more that we're just blanking on right now.
All right, well,
Remaining.
in terms of synergy, I mean, you start thinking about the supports are pretty fun, right? That saving support for a Drow. The Faceless Void's a big one. And they're actually just going to get rid of that, well, the saving supports and the Oracle and the Dazzle. The Venge is still in the pool, as well as the Faceless Void. So some intense stock and standard Drow picks still remaining here.
Mm-hmm. So Question Mark haven't really shown too much of their cards. I mean, they pick the classic, if they're there, if the Shadow Demon's in the pool, obviously he's still one of the strongest supports. Sand King, a super viable position 4, a super viable offlaner, depending on what kind of momentum you're looking to carry forward into the game. But they haven't revealed their mid. They haven't revealed that position 1. So Question Mark keeping their cards close to their chest here.
Yeah, I wonder if they're considering some sort of like a Faceless Void for themselves, but I don't think they play position 1, if I recall from taking a look at their team. That would be one way you could try and do it. I guess you could go offlane and then make the support Sand King, because we've seen NP, I believe it was, had a really nice combination going where they would open Shadow Demon Sand King, and then they would transition the Sand King into position 4, just because the Shadow Demon can set up very nicely for that early burrow strike. You kind of get rid of that disadvantage of the shorter range of something like a Shadow Demon. So if that meant that they now got that combination of Sand King, Faceless Void, which again NP did very well with, didn't end up winning our tournament, of course, but you could really see that similar synergy between like Elder Titan, Faceless Void, like this Sand King, Faceless Void. But, it's just kind of there in your head because Faceless Void is like super scary right now. Aside of ProDotA, like if they have Faceless Void, I would be like very worried about Question Mark, because now they've just banned out two great supports up against the Faceless Void. Like, yeah, you have the Shadow Demon. I guess you could disrupt one guy in the Chrono, but it's definitely not that nicer range of like Venge, Oracle, Dazzle.
Mm-hmm. Definitely not. Yeah, they've got some time to think here, but their options may be running out again. Darkseer taken out of the pool, so looks like ProDotA, assuming that this is going to be a position 4 Sand King rather than their offlaner. I don't know. I feel like Question Mark could definitely get away with an offlane Sand King, especially up against a bully like Drow Ranger. But Ogre Magi, nice little lane support there, so that position 1's going to be in need of a little bit of babysitting, should be able to get a lot of farm. Could something like a Juggernaut work really well here for Question Mark?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Bloodlust always nice with any of your melee cores, let's be honest, but people who can fight early on, heavy magic damage coming out from the Blade Fury can be good. Once you hit like level 11 too, and you get that one Omni Slash fight, sometimes the Juggernaut can be like disemboweling to a Drow lineup.
Mm-hmm.
Other options would be like if they wanted to go for a split push, but I think at this point you've kind of drafted like Shadow Demon, Ogre Magi. Sand King's okay at the split game. The generally the main idea is right, like you wait for that high ground defense, you make the play, and then you get some heavy push going back your way, some heavy split push going that way, and then the Drow lineup can never again get the lanes in a state where they can 5-man and take big objectives. Like they have to rely on like grabbing that Roche and kind of that last YOLO play before the game is just kind of choked away from them. The Witch Doctor pick's great. Again, very stock standard Drow stuff. I swear, like, you just watch Drow lineups and you're just like, man, I have seen this before, you know? It's either Dazzler or it's Witch Doctor. I don't know. There's a reason people still pick it, though. It's damn good.
Yeah, I've seen a couple Witch Doctors mess me up in some pubs, but it's been a while in the pro scene since I've seen that.
Oh, you know what? It was actually yesterday where I was so impressed by a Witch Doctor, and I can't remember what series it was, but it was against an off-lane Sand King, and he just got dumpstered. Because those bounces. Because, like, Sand King, of course,
was it the coconut or the Maledicts that
Oh,
fucked
it was
him
the
up?
coconut. Because you have to go up to the creep wave as Sand King, right? So you're going up and you're tagging the caustic and everything.
Yeah.
And as you said, Witch Doctor's not a hero we've seen too much, but you kind of get a double bonus here of it's always good in a Drow lineup. It adds in that nice little sustain, a little bit of control through the cask, but just up against the Sand King himself, being able to control him in the lane when he comes up to the creeps, getting those nice bounces. Very, very nice pick here from ProDotA.
Yeah, I like that a lot, but our Lifestealer here, they're definitely going with that built-in magic immunity, so that's going to be a little bit more difficult for Witch Doctor to get some harass on. And well, now Chen pickup for ProDotA. That is a boy we have not seen in a while. Not an archer, but another range here that can benefit from Precision Aura.
Yeah, a little irritating up against a Lifestealer. You know, he can do some shenanigans and whatnot. But, interesting. Chen, man, full push. Gone into it at this point. We'll see if the Arteezy stream Lifestealer can bring this game into a victory. Have you been catching some Arteezy stream? It is just non-stop Lifestealer, man. This guy, he is. I'm sure everyone out there is just like, oh yeah, they've been enjoying some solid Lifestealer play.
Yeah, it's one of those guys that you kind of underestimate consistently. You're like, oh, he's not that strong. You can burst him down, but then all of a sudden he comes out of the jungle and he's just fucking rocking a heart and a radiance and God knows what else. But we'll see how Question Mark are going to skill him up. Again, the Ogre Magi's there in lane to help him out, bully back all the offlaners. And, well, ProDotA, are they going to be even going in for an offlaner, or are they just going jungle Chen, fuck the offlane, let Lifestealer get what he wants?
No, I would say they would have went for that Faceless Void if it was left in the pool, I think, without question. So, nice ban by Question Mark. I think we'll probably see the Invoker banned out here. I guess you could ban Storm. Are you that concerned? You have Cask and you have Silence. Not the best control. Maybe it is a decent Storm game. He'll get ran at mid, though.
Oh, I like the Tinker ban here. I think Storm's pretty difficult to run without that Precision Aura, but... Oh! The return of that Venge Drow combination used to be an absolute staple of the Drow range. You never saw him picked up without a Vengeful Spirit as a lane support, but we'll see what's happening here. Question Mark. On to their last pick, like you mentioned, Storm Spirit a possibility, although I think maybe a little bit unlikely.
You'd have to be a pretty, like, confident Storm player for sure.
Yeah.
Like, if this was like EG, you'd be like, yeah, this is Storm, I think, without question. Invoker's still in the pool. He'll be getting some Chen creeps coming to his lane, but he is decently survivable. They could try like a puck or something, but then I think
Let's
they
see
get
like a Shadow
outscaled.
Fiend. Let's just go full balls to the wall. We're going to see the Invoker, like you talked about. Again, just a nice stable pick there. Arise gets his paws on that one. Always love seeing that Arise Invoker here, but I'm liking ProDotA's lineup a lot.
Yeah, it's hard to disagree with. It'll be kind of cool to see the lanes, right? They're going to try and get some sort of a matchup because if you guys remember during TI, when DC picked that Vengeful Spirit, they sent it down in kind of like this aggressive dual lane / tri lane with rotating supports and everything. And by the time Resolution actually reached like level 7 or 8, even if it was just like 6, they started rotating down trying to kill this Vengeful Spirit, just chilling down there by himself. And you don't really realize, but Core Revenge, once you get into like even half a Dragonlance, you're at like 1200 HP with a bunch of armor. Like the stats on this hero are actually insane. And you come down trying to kill it, and it just kind of stands there and fights you back and walks away. And you're like, oh, okay, this hero is actually difficult to deal with. So really interested to see what kind of side lane matchups we're going to get here. Like, what position is Garter going to be in? Does he even need Biva up top? That's the most important thing for ProDotA is how these lanes get initially set up.
Well, we'll have to see. We're loading in now. We got our ceremonial pause to make sure everyone gets in without that big ol' lag spike. Thanks, Dota. But, oh god, Shen's having a fun time. You see
is
this
he, like,
kid?
flying?
He's just, his cat's just all up in it.
Oh my goodness. That is nice.
All right. Well, either way, we'll see what's going to be going down. What are your predictions for how our mid lane goes? It looks like it's going to be that Mirana versus Invoker. In terms of farm, in terms of early harass, what's going to happen there?
Kind of your standard, like, supports are going to decide it. For the most part, though, Invoker would be, having a better time, right? Mirana can do some cheeky little things where she, like, chucks arrows over at hard camps and stuff from the mid lane. But until she gets some levels up into, like, the Starstorm and whatnot, I would be favoring the Invoker. But again, heavy support game this time. There's no one jungling. I mean, Chen a little bit, but more than likely you'll see him coming to the mid early on, so it's just going to come down to rotations.
All right, we've got that go-ahead from Arise, just waiting for ProDotA to queue up. Again, this is going to be game number 1 of a best-of-2 series. We're in the group stages, looking to seed ourselves nicely into the playoff bracket. So Group A is all done, all sorted out. Group B just starting up today. This is the first match of it. So this is going to be a series ProDotA versus question mark. And up next, after this, we've got ProDotA versus Friends. So lots of ProDotA today. If you're into them, this is absolutely your day of Dota to watch.
Time to see what Kefka's gonna do. So he's geared up for lane for sure, as you'd expect. And on down to that off lane, try and be that tanky little bastard that he is. And now we just kind of see how these rotations do come out from the Chen, from the Witch Doctor. Already they're smoking up top. This is a nice little maneuver.
Yep, just going to be able to look down some nice vision here. Shadow Demon sitting on 2 observers and a sentry. They are going to pop as they get close to Garter up there. So Garter knows what's going on. He knows there's going to be a big old train of fun hopping into that top lane. But for now, maybe just plopping down some vision, getting on through, and not looking to get too crazy, although it seems like Dire might be looking to go in and surround him. Shadow Demon going to split off from the herd, wrapping around the long way, and looks like Pone might try to catch out someone there with the Burrow Strike.
Oh, nicely done. Really, really nicely done. Putting that ward down by the Chen.
Yeah.
I love me some ward Dota. That's so good. So, you know that they're going to rotate through. That was a really nice play by the Drow, understanding that they want to put those wards in against the Chen. Generally, you see this whole area warded up.
ward, yeah.
And this. Yeah, and then he puts this ward down just so he saw them place that. It's the easy D ward.
All right, Venge able to go harass the Lifestealer down bottom, which means Mirana gets a nice easy bounty rune down bottom, but up top Invoker's going to grab that. So each mid got their bounty rune. Nice even game to start things out. Really the only thing we've seen so far is Sentry dropped and a little bit of Radiant Vision lost, but I'm excited to see how the laning phases go. That shouldn't be too impactful in terms of rotations.
It's interesting that they dumped both wards in here too, right? Like they placed this one, and then this one's still chilling up here. So it'll spot Chen rotations up to the top.
A little Venge could be in some trouble here. Is going to get gobbled up, popped into the disruption. She wanted to go through and pull the wave, but will it cost her her life? She eats her way through the trees, is going to be able to stun up our Lifestealer, pops into that salve, but a couple more chomps should do it. She doesn't have move speed advantage, no boots, but Lifestealer can't catch up. Even with the Windlace, he's just not fast enough to get there. She was 1 hit away, but she lives.
Yeah, nice. Can go deny himself over to the Ancients. Buys up the second slippers and be happy with the situation. So, not too bad. Again, come with me. Still a little bit busy being a Chen and whatnot, so we can't really help out that bottom lane.
It's only a minute into the game. Let's give him a little bit of time to come online.
Yeah.
So our mid matchup here, it looks like our Mirana's getting a decent amount of last hits, decent amount of harass onto our Invoker, who's sitting at no last hits. Only picks up 1 to Mirana's 5, so she's obviously having a nice time with this first wave. But of course, anything can happen. We are a minute and a half in the game.
Yeah, it is also a Quas Wex Invoker too, so already like that disadvantage in terms of the right clicks coming in with the Fairy Fire as well as that Wraith Band over on ping. So he's rocking 63 damage. Compared to like the 57 of the Invoker. So already starting to abuse that. There won't be any Forge Spirits in the lane, so Mirana can have a better time than usual.
Up top, our Witch Doctor got real low here. He had to pop out his coconut just to keep himself healthy, but now Emperor, he's just going in, starting to beat up on Garter. I mean, this Ogre Magi, there's a reason he's picked as a lane bully. He's just so sustainable. His base regen is kind of stupid, and you can just sit there and take it. He's got 8 base armor at level 2.
Whenever I play this hero, I feel like it's bugged. I'm just like looking. I'm just like I don't even realize that my Tango hasn't like already ran out or something. Just like 5.3 right now with that Mango. Crazy. Think about that. That means if you right click him and then he hides in the fog for 10 seconds, it's like you didn't even do anything. That really adds up over time.
Absolutely. Down bottom, our Vengeful Spirit having a little bit of a struggle actually getting up into the wave to get those last hits, but her experience is all right. She's already ticked over to level 3 at 2.5 minutes into the game, and well, she did die once to the neutrals, but avoided giving away first blood. Well, this could be a different situation, though. She's going to get disrupted back up. There's the rage. There's the open wounds. She's got one stun to her name. She's going to pop it out on our lifestealer. Can he catch up, though? Looks like he does have his boots and his windlace, but he's not going to try to dive this one too deeply. So it looks like Kefka will eat up a fairy fire and be just fine.
All right. I agreed with the last time, but you have like an 80 move speed advantage, and she just stunned you. I feel like that was a potential play there.
I think
like
it's
maybe worried about
fear of
rotations,
tower harass, but
that's
I
intense.
don't
I mean,
know.
Necroman's probably just like, all right, I'm just gonna chill for now because once I have my phase boots, she just has to leave the lane, so I don't want to slow that down like in any way. I'm just gonna make sure I get all my last hits, and that's understandable for sure. The lane definitely is already gonna start getting a little bit harder because now this is unblocked, so they're just gonna keep like doing double pulls and whatnot, and Venge won't be able to contest that at all.
Alright, so back up the tower. Looks like Necroman's getting a decent amount of harass under the tier 1 tower. They are going to go for another disruption here. Do they dive it out? Necroman already taking aggro. There's going to be a stun, but it's going to be committed onto the Shadow Demon. Now Kefka still feeling healthy. They bring in the Chen. It looks like they're chasing down the Shadow Demon. He's got virtually no mana. They're going to be going in. They try to slow him down. Doesn't do a whole lot of damage there. That Shen little pendants is going to be doing
Can
much.
Ping
But
get it?
there we go. Ping jumping in, but Ping is going to be having to hit that arrow, pop it into the Roche pit, trying to get the aggro. Will it be enough? The bash actually sets up the kill, and Shen will be able to score that first blood. Very well played there. Nice rotation from Come With Me.
Yeah, commend Roche, honestly. I don't know. I think he's got a favorite in this
he
game.
got that like Abyssal Blade. He's like, all right, you guys trying to get this kill? Let me help you out with a little bash there, but fortunately the
What a nice
deny
guy.
was not had. Roche is probably my favorite hero in the game.
Oh man, those face boots just got picked up, and now Kefka's just like, can I buy my boots? I'm going for it. He's going for the boot play. Oh, we got him.
He got the brownies.
That was scary.
All
I mean,
right.
honestly, like that is a dangerous place to go when I like to sit on those.
Oh, little rage coming in, so that stomp is going to be doing a whole lot. They do get the net. Oh, nice little missile to follow up right when the rage ended. Very well played. Again, this Chen Venge duo getting exactly what they want. It's now going to be 0-2 in favor of ProDotA, even after Kefka's struggles in the early part of the lane phase.
Yeah, nicely done. Chen and Enchantress both have that advantage of, not too many heroes have early game stuns that go through BKB. Usually you're looking at like ultimates or whatever, so yeah, not until you're like level 6, but come through with that troll net. Very aggravating for someone like a lifestealer. Doesn't have level 6 yet, so we can't abuse Chen. He's infest, and good little rotation here. So this is what we expected. Chen coming down to help with the Venge. As the Precision Aura starts to stack up, it's going to make this even easier. Already 2 points in the Aura for the Venge, so they're going to look how hard they're going to right-click the Shadow Demon.
Yeah, they're trying here.
Oh,
Shadow Demon's going
look
to
at
get
that.
caught out. They go for the Disrupt. That's going to be a nice little save. And now Come With Me could be in some trouble. Going to have to deal with Lifestealer on his own, but they get the kill onto the Demon. There's a nice little swap trying to buy them some time, but the TP down from the Invoker secures the kill. Now the Cold Snap means Kefka probably hits the deck as well. Not going to be able to deny to neutrals on that, so it's a double kill for the Invoker. That is definitely a worthwhile rotation. Now the kill score pretty much even.
Yeah, that was really nicely done. I think the second kill definitely wouldn't have happened if he didn't come down, so well played to our Invoker. Brings down your off-lane hero, and every little bit you can do a slow down this Drow lineup, right?
Mm-hmm.
Venge getting levels, Drow getting levels.
Now, speaking of our Drow, she's doing all right up here. She's got herself 24 last hits, but our Lifestealer with 31 last hits. And also, I mean, he's just been having a fun time here. 2 assists to his name, only 1 death. He's got his phase boots. He's flying out some more goodies to himself. So this is going to be a pretty interesting matchup here. Do you think the Drow strat can get enough momentum in that like 15 to 20 minute window that they're going to be able to pull ahead? Or will this just be a slow, steady farm fest from question mark?
Looking at their lineup, I mean, I think we have to assume that they only have one plan in mind right now, and that's just like get that base level of items going. Your Dragon Lance, maybe like Aquila and something for the Venge, maybe a Vlad's if she's gonna be picking that up this game, and then they just go Roche and try and win the
Witch
game.
Doctor. He's so squishy. There's nothing he can do. He just had to sit there, and there's going to be a nice little gust. Now, mid lane, they are able to get the kill on the Invoker. He pops into his little Ghost Walk, but they've got that fade time to deal with him, and they are able to get the job done. So, I mean, globally, a Witch Doctor for an Invoker will favor ProDotA, but still, that poor little Witch Doctor, he was just trying to defend this small camp.
Yeah, definitely win for ProDotA though. Invoker certainly going to be the well, maybe he's the second most important here to stop them. I'm gonna say second for now, just because as long as Sanking has like a somewhat decent start, there is potential for Pwn to just kind of win this game on his own, and already that's looking good. Up to the Arcane Boots, he's near the top of the chart, right over the halfway mark, a little bit behind the Chen. Maybe a little disappointed in that, but Chen is having a really nice game, by the way. Shout out to Come With Me.
Yeah,
Getting
she's
good
just dealing
rotations
with
in.
this mid jungle like it's absolutely nothing. The scan though, gonna catch him out, so Invoker knows someone's nearby. Can they actually catch him, though? Come with me. Not going to be alone, as there is going to be that Mirana dishing onto the
He's
tower.
like bowling him out of mid.
Oh, there we go. There's going to be the tornado coming in. There will be a TP in from the Shadow Demon, and they're able to get the cold snap here. Hand of God and the Moonlight Shadow. Will he be safe? Do they have the vision? They've got nothing. They can't find him here, so it's just Chen creeps dodging around, taking some shots, but Chen is going to be completely fine. Now up top, there is a tower destroyed by Prone on the Sand King, and Moonlight Shadow's going to end. Can they reinitiate? The Coconut goes through. They connect onto the Maledict as well. They do get the Gust.
Oh, the
Can he
bounces.
burrow strike away? Oh, the magic missile in from Kefka helps out secure that kill.
ProDotA looking good. When they group up with, like, if they bring over this Wolf and the Venge, and of course with Drow's Aura, they are going to hit so hard. If, like, a single hero's dead, like the Sand King, if that happens when they're, like, on this side of the river and they just walk over, this tower is going to die in probably 6 seconds. The right clicks are actually going to be quite absurd. Same thing with Roche, too. Like, one good pick into a smoke, they can take Roche very quickly. The armlet's almost done for our Lifestealer, though, so Necroman's certainly going to be something to be reckoned with.
Yeah, he's sitting back. He's having a really good game in terms of overall last hits and net worth. He's going to be top of the charts as well. And now we can start that Infest spam onto the Chen creeps, of course. Just plop in, plop out. Rest in peace, Wildwing Ripper.
Yeah, I don't think they have anything else to deal with that either. Actually, despite being a Quas Wex Invoker, he will go for the Midas, which is nice because you don't always see it on Quas Wex, but it does have a lot of value this game just because it is Chen creeps, right? So some heroes that don't always get Midas, you'll see go for it up against Chen.
Yeah, I mean, that instant kill on a pretty high value target is just super, super worthwhile. So again, now Necroman gets that safe space in lane. There is going to be the Chen there trying to punish him. I mean, he's got his little buddies here taking out this camp. Does he have that net creep? Doesn't look like he has it right now.
Oh, mid lane.
Oh yeah, they're going in. There should be an easy kill. Oh, the swap though. Is it going to be enough? They get another stack of Shadow Poison. It will be enough to kill off the Mirana. Now they're going to be Kefka coming back out. Goes and stuns an illusion of himself. Don't think that was the play. So unfortunately, the Vengeful Spirit is not able to get away from all of this harass underneath the tower. Does end up falling. Shadow Demon picking up a lot of gold off of that. He's now 2-2-2. This guy's had a really high game impact for his, early little purple dude. Now down bottom. TP's in. They're trying to save this up. They're trying to get some punish onto the Chen. It's just the Centaur caught up in the tornado. Do they give up the chase here? They've got the Burrow Strike, but they don't want to close that gap.
Mid lane, MTL might get chased down here. Oh, good Bloodlust.
Yeah, that means Drow Ranger can't really continue to follow up. Oh god, the Witch Doctor just gets dropped. He was trying to make it to that
kind of
Roche
wandered
pit.
in.
I think he was trying to go maybe get a little cask bounce coming onto the Shadow Demon, but realized he bit off way more than he can chew, veered off into the Roche pit, but couldn't make it in time.
That is a lot of quick kills for that question mark at a
Yeah.
time of the game where you can't really be giving them up as ProDotA. Like, Midas is almost done now for Invoker. He actually already had the urn. I didn't even realize.
Yeah, he's
He
had
is-
that for a
he is
long
super
time.
farmed. Yeah, that is absurd.
I think a big part of that's courtesy of that first rotation down to the bottom lane where he picked up a double kill and all of a sudden he had like 1,500 gold to spend. So Midas almost complete for him. We're going to have a smoke rotation in from our Chen, Venge, and Mirana. We'll see if they can find anything from that. They're wrapping towards the mid lane, but well, if they're going to kill, they've got to kill right about now. Their smoke's going to pop.
Stanking will be a great kill.
Oh, they see something. Kefka smoke pops. They go in. They get the Moonlight Shadow. They're going to swap back. They do get the dust onto the Sand King, so we cannot go into that Sandstorm. But now there's going to be an EMP. Everyone's mana goes bye-bye. And Rift Doctor, unfortunately, going to be eating up a lot of that aggression. There's nothing he can do. He's just so squishy. He tries to heal himself. One more shot will be the death of him. That's going to be Chen. Witch Doctor down, trading only for a Sand King. They cannot afford to lose the Mirana here. She's going to get low. She's going to get stunned. And she's going to get dropped. It's going to be a 1-for-3 exchange. Very well played by Question Mark.
Yeah, this is tough Dota 2. You're now into like thinking about how do we get back in this game? What do we need to do? What sort of actions do we have to take? And that smoke was kind of a product of that already. Just trying to start turning this around. Maybe thinking if we knock down Invoker, we can get this tower down, try and buy some space around Roshan for ourselves. But
Oh, nice timing on the tornado. Just clips on to come with me. The EMP going to drop half his mana. Fresh out of Fountain. He's now half health, half mana, and just feels real wimpy. He's got his level 7, so we already saw the use of the Hand of God, but I mean, you've got your Invoker now. He's sitting at the top of the chart with an 11-minute Midas, an Urn, Phase Boots, and already almost 1,000 more gold to work with.
he's rich.
Oh yeah,
Could,
he's feeling it.
Not really the best Orchid game. I mean, it's okay. I don't know if we'll see it. See what sort of a build he wants to try for.
I mean, I say you just go Aghanims and start dropping it.
YOLO.
Yeah, dude.
Dump some bombs all over the place.
I mean, what's the worst that could happen? He's 6-1-2 right now, and this is up against a Drow strat at 12 minutes, a lineup with a Chen and a Venge that should be dominating, but they're really having some trouble taking really cohesive, clean team fights.
Yeah, it's just been really crisp rotations from Question Mark. Just like good TPs coming in from the supports. Like that dive in the mid, you just saw immediately the Sand King was gone on. And yeah, he died, but then everyone was in. Ran down all three of the heroes that had come in for that play. So Drow has been farming for a long time up top, which is nice for Garter. Can't even go into that Dragonlance first, though, just because the nature of this game has to go for that Force Staff, be a little bit more survivable. Now it is kind of acceptable in this state because you do have the Alpha Wolf aura, you have the Venge aura coming in whenever she's nearby, so you don't necessarily have to stack up that damage that you tend to like to. And, Pwn.
He should be fine here. He's going to get disrupted up by his buddy, and they may actually turn to make this offensive, just spraying out some poison, but everyone just gobbling up their mana, staying nice and healthy. So it feels like with the Drow, a Chen, a Witch Doctor that now has his ultimate, they should be starting to really pressure towers, but all the towers on the side of Question Mark are still standing and they're still healthy.
That's a little bit depressing for a Drow lineup. That's when people start raging in any of my games. If there's a Drow on our team and like we haven't taken a tower by like 14 minutes, it's just GG. Like,
13
that's
minutes,
it.
no
We're
rapier
done.
report.
Yeah, it's over. To be fair, it's kind of true. Like they've already lost top. Haven't really got anything done. The Blink Dagger on Sand King is going to be that seriously like defining moment in this game where it's just like, okay, I think we might have lost. You know, maybe they'll go for some sort of a smoke Roche play, and they're just going to get epicentered and die. So, time for some cheeky Lifestealer plays.
Oh, we'll see what's going to happen here. Again, I think the Invoker, he's having one of those games where he's just so far ahead. He got his kill snowball rolling, and as long as this little Ogre buddy and a Shadow Demon stick nearby, they've been doing a great job keeping people alive. Some of the disruptions have been, totally just fight switching. Alright, our Drow Ranger, she's finally flying in some goodies here. Has that completed Force Staff, so only 1,500 gold to that full Dragon Lance. Down bottom, our Lifestealer is actually top of the net worth chart, not necessarily because of kills. He's got no kills to his name, but he's just having some fun with his items. Now, Witch Doctor Death Ward is going to get dropped, but it looks like Shadow Demon gets away from that. Does die to the Chen, though. Nice deep rotation there from the Chen, and there's going to be some nice aggression onto the tower. Moonlight Shadow, so bottom lane can disengage, but they do catch up Venge in this tornado. She should be able to TP away, though. She's just going to sit back in the trees and try to go home. Top tower snatched up by our Drow lineup. Hand of God, actually. Venge is sticking around. Oh, no, she's going to TP back to her tier 2. Try to reset the fight from there. There's still a push coming in on this top lane. Garter, he got that momentum. He picked up his initial tower.
Try and
He's got
stop
the Force
TP
Staff.
with swap.
Yeah.
That's the play here. Let's see if it works, though. I know, he'll reveal himself. But if he can keep them both down here, that's pretty huge.
Yeah, tower's taking some heavy damage. You've got your Bloodlusted Shadow Demon up here. He's going to be going in, gets the Disrupt. Let's see if they're able to follow up with anything on that. There's going to be the Epicenter and the Burrow Strike. Come with me, eating a lot of damage. Force Staff away from the Drow. They're now trying to go onto this Chen. Looks like he's going to get low. Pwn actually taking a ton of damage. He's actually going to pop to the Witch Doctor Maledict. So overall, it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade. But in terms of tower, ProDotA did really, really well there. They got about half health on that tier 2. They did lose their tier 1 bottom, but still, for a Drow lineup, actually getting that first tower, super crucial.
Yeah, that could have been a lot worse. Invoker and Lifestealer both had TPs on cooldown during that. It kind of looked like Kefka, I don't think he knew that, or maybe that's why he was playing so far back, but either way, them not being able to come to that fight, you can understand why ProDotA went for that push. Didn't end up working out like the best because they weren't able to fully knock down that second tier 2, but again, they were pretty far on the back foot. Kills definitely don't tell the real story in this game. They are still down by about 2k. Not too bad overall. They have that nice little block starting to form, which you like to see in a Drow lineup, where you get this big kind of chunk of all your team kind of in the same spot, right?
Oh.
Yeah, that is not your typical Lifestealer carrier, right? But it'll do.
This big, fat, invisible kid. What else do you want?
Yeah.
Yeah, this poor Witch Doctor, like, I have so much sympathy because that's what it feels like whenever I play Witch Doctor. Is like, you want to try so hard, you're ready with that coconut, you're like, all right, team, let's do this, and you get killed in like 2 hits, and you're just always dead. Now Garter, nice Force Staff away, unfortunately, still gets clipped by the tornado. He's able to get off the gust and briefly silence up Arise, and there's going to be that neck up from the Chen. Garter,
nice
though,
send home.
going to get sent back, even with a negative earn, should be able to live. Chen's going to give his life for this. The Moonlight Shadow comes in a little bit too late, but Drow lives, and that's really important right there.
Yeah, they also dumped a sentry too, so didn't even end up mattering, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
value, right?
Down
that's a
bottom.
Dire Sentry.
Necroman gonna hop into those woods and be munched through. He's gonna try to TP home. Gus does not cancel TP, and they can't get the vision for the stun. Oh, Kefka just needed to go a little bit deeper there and would have been able to get that swap stun, whatever they needed to cancel that.
Well, Chen dead. Kind of puts their plans on delay here. All that matters right now is Roche. This tower obviously makes it quite a bit easier, so they can gain some control around this area, try and get themselves into the Roche pit. That is definitely the dream right now for the Dire side. They can take it very quickly at this point with the Mask Madness. And
Swap
there's the
back in, they get the stun, they get the Maledict. I think this is a very dead Shadow Demon who's going in for the self-disrupt, but definitely not able to get that in time. They're going to give this little bounty rune away to hopefully someone. Looks like Mirana's going to be filling her bottle up with that, and well, Roche going down relatively quickly. We'll see if Question Mark are in a position to contest. Looks like they're bringing in two heroes. They're smoked up. Nice little tornado coming into the pit. Connects onto the Drow Ranger. That's a huge source of their damage. Now Lifestealer.
Yeah, they're dead.
Yeah, I mean, they're just bailing out right now. They cannot stop the TPs. They can't stop the Force Staffs. Now it's just going to be Witch Doctor trying his best here, but he's still going to get stunned up on the back lines. You got your Invoker chasing down your Chen, and the Cold Snap, that should be enough damage. Come with me, will get killed. So that's going to be 2 dead, and now a free low health Roche going the way of Question Mark. This is just Christmas.
Kefka coming in for that wave of terror.
He's feeling it. He's
right?
going for the swap. He's not going to be successful and may end up dying. Nope. He's going to get back. Get out of jail free card, but unfortunately not able to stop that Roche. And that does mean that Lifestealer now has 2 lives. He can get even crazier. We're talking in the draft about how Lifestealer can be underestimated, especially at earlier parts of the game, but now he's got an Echo Saber. Looks like he's picked up a Mithril Hammer, whatever he's going for there, whether it's the Deso or
it's Deso.
lightning,
Give me that Deso.
lightning Stealer. Dude, I've seen it.
Yeah. It's Chen creeps, right?
Yeah, I mean, just fucking
go.
munch on him, get a Mjolnir, and all of a sudden you're just Tesla. Either way, very, very well played now in terms of overall net worth. It's still looking really, really good for our Radiant squad.
That was so greedy by ProDotA. Like, yeah, you got a kill, but it was the Shadow Demon. Like, that's, I don't know, I guess Ogre would be a worse kill to try that play with, but Shadow Demon is the second worst. Like, if you kill Lifestealer, Sanking, or Invoker, I can definitely understand going in and going for that, but that was just, they don't have the omniscient vision. They don't know that the heroes weren't that far away. Like, if someone was split pushing top, but no one was. Like, Sanking and Invoker were already bombed. They didn't have TP, and they just got there, like, way too quickly, even for a Mask of Madness Drow.
Alright, so now our Lifestealer here, he's sitting back, almost has enough for that second Mithril Hammer if we are going for our Desolator, which I believe should be the play. But this tower is going down quickly, a quick switch of the aggro, and Necroman should be able to get the credit for this. Just pop it on the armlet to make sure you got the HP, and there we go, another tower kill going down, and this is against a Drow lineup. They're already knocking on these tier 3s at 20 minutes, and there's not a whole lot Drow, Chen, Venge can do about it.
This is one of the harder situations the one's going to find themselves in a Dota game.
We've got Garter doing Garter things, but unfortunately it may mean that he has to very quickly get back and aid his team, because there's just going to be a constant creep siege. Again, you got that Shadow Demon who can just make illusions of our Lifestealer and keep slapping him onto that front door.
Yeah, and they're still holding on to that Aegis on him too.
Yeah.
And no real rush. Plenty of time left to work with. They can close out at least one more tier 2, if not both of them, honestly, at this point. And there's no wombo combo for the side of ProDotA. The best thing they can hope for is, like, someone gets arrowed and 2 people are, like, permanently cast into a death ward. That's pretty much the play. Some Chen creeps come in. If they, you could call the wombo combo, but it would certainly be extremely difficult to pull off. It's not Ravage into Black Hole or something. This is much more than 2 buttons.
Yeah. Our Drow Ranger getting real close to that Dragon Lance. She's going to have that up quite shortly. So that'll be a little Hurricane Pike for her, and she'll feel real good about initiating. But, I mean, at this point, no one wants to fight. They're just like, all right, let's see whose push is better. Obviously, Drow Chen is known for being able to just wail onto towers and melt them down. But honestly, it seems like Question Mark are super comfortable just sitting back, pushing out lanes, getting kills. The kill score is heavily in their favor. Oh, Tornado is going to clip onto the Drow Ranger. There's going to be that little vision, or needed to catch up as Moonlight Shadow comes in. Gust going to be off the mark, so Arise not going to be doing anything here. And I think Kefka might be dead, but, oh, there they go. They bring in the Ogre with the dust. There's going to be a stun onto Pone, but, oh, TP coming through. She's going to get disrupted and hopping into that ice wall. There we go. Necroman's going to be on a killing spree, taking out the Venge. It's only a Venge, but just the fact that that Drow rotation did not work is Pretty unfortunate. And they used up all the resources to get out. They used up their Moonlight Shadow. They used all their TPs. Mirana was just trying to book it away as fast as possible. So this is a Drow lineup at 22 minutes that feels terrified to push.
Yeah, they're split push game Drow, which is certainly not where this lineup wants to be. Doing everything they can. There's the gem from the Ogre. That was definitely needed. So nice little pickup here. And Question Mark are playing this perfectly correctly. And the second they all rotate down, they immediately want to get this tower knocked down. Likewise, ProDotA making the right moves with Pigman check down here. And Invoker's going to try and go for the pick off. There are people nearby to TP. Pigman might be dead here. In fact, he looks quite dead.
I don't know. He's got his leap, so depending on how spooky the initiation is. Oh, he's going to get slowed down. He knows something's up. So he's just going to be sitting there. There's going to be another TP down from the Sand King. There we go. Waiting for the leap to pop out the tornado, but not going to be successful. In fact, Invoker actually in some serious trouble here. Unfortunately, the Death Ward is canceled, but the Maledict is enough to finish off the Invoker. Now we've got the Chen just going in. 4 step away. There's going to be a Hules to try to keep the Sand King in the air. Nice little Fire Blast from the Ogre. And we'll see if that's enough to really defend underneath this Voodoo Restoration. Come with me. Should be able to live. Has the mech as well. But meanwhile, Lifestealer able to get a kill on the Venge up top. So just blood and destruction all over the map. The Invoker going down means
That's
that
huge.
maybe the Drow lineup has a chance to get some serious harass onto this tier 3.
I don't know what happened with Sand King. Like, I don't know if he was waiting up top for that tower to go down or why he didn't TP. Something happened because Invoker was ready. He was like, yo, if my Sand King TP's right here, this Mirana is very dead. I can just kill her under tower. She is like way too close right now. I will initiate with Tornado and we will win the game. But I guess Pone, maybe he was in range of that Venge that died. I'm not sure. I wasn't looking top, but
Chen creeps finish
very
off the tier
costly.
3. That was super costly. I think the thing that went wrong was Invoker was really waiting for that Mirana leap to then immediately punish with Tornado, but he just missed the Tornado. Wasn't able to get that lockdown.
Okay, well, a sign of life here for ProDotA.
Yeah, they're feeling
Trying
good
to
here.
bite
Overall
back into that advantage.
net worth is going to be about 4,000 in favor of Question Mark still. So there's a ways to go. The XP gap is actually quite huge, about 8,000 difference. So switching over to what that means in levels, it means that your Chen, your Witch Doctor, and your Venge on the side of ProDotA don't have your level 2 ultimates. That's not great.
Yeah, they're starting to get into it. Kefka's just killing some neutrals. He's up to it now, which is good because that's a big range increase.
All right, so
but yeah, the Chen's a pretty big one.
some op packs with your expert analysis skills.
Oh, God.
Mask of Madness Drow is back from the grave. What's happening?
Yeah, no, it was a good pickup. It was certainly because of this game. Like, I believe she went the 4-staff first and then back to the Mask of Madness and then into the fully completed Hurricane Pike. It was just because, like, they are playing this kind of split push game, and it's been helping Garda get around the map very quickly. It's like a budget Shadow Blade, but obviously not quite as safe. And then some good sustain for, like, that attempted Roche and everything like that, too.
Oh,
But
the Alacrity Lifestealer with an armlet. This guy just munches on towers like a freaking snack. I know it's going to be...
so does Garda, though.
Yeah, he's pushing. He gets that tier 2 down, but now everyone has to rotate back, and it looks like all of Question Mark should be able to get out safely. I mean, that's all the exterior towers. It's only racks left for them. This game's starting to get real heated. We'll see if our Dire squad can actually keep up that momentum, or if, in that typical Drow strat fashion, they kind of start to trickle off after 30, 35 minutes.
Interesting to see what the next plays will be from Question Mark now. Because, like, they can't really play reactive off the towers at this point. Roche will certainly be the next hotly contested objective, but for now, it's like the Dire, you probably won't see smoke up. Interesting. Neither team has the best initiation, right? Like, Sand King's a great follow-up initiator. He's okay for, like, a leading initiator, but he definitely shines when it's something like, okay, I see 3 heroes, I'm going to come and set up this perfect Burrow Strike in Epicenter, and we just, like, won the game, probably, right? So
Oh, we got a Lifestealer bomb on our Sand King here, and Lifestealer's got that full Deso as well as a Hyperstone. He's hitting fast, he's hitting hard, nice initiation, moving forward. Garter in some serious trouble, gonna try to Hurricane Pike himself away, but he just gets plopped there. Mega kill streak up for the Lifestealer. He's got 2,500 gold, completely full health, full mana, and full morale as they're ready to charge into these tier 3s without a Drow or a Witch Doctor to defend.
yeah, that was exactly what they needed. Oh, look, he's gonna catch the Mirana TP later.
Oh! Just barely. Now the cold snap here. Mirana is trying to get out, but the
That's
leap isn't there. The deafening blast, the hand of God, the swap in though. Kefka looking to turn things around. The arrow latches onto a rise. He drops the gem.
Yeah, but your base though.
It doesn't even matter. Did you see that?
I mean, that's worth. They're gonna get 2. Like, that's fine. That was a sick play by Invoker. I'm down.
I mean, he kept the Mirana out of trouble, but he loses the gem in his life. I don't know. Yeah.
Back away
Moonlight Shadow
now.
trying to reinitiate. I mean, they could go for the stun here. Sand King going to get locked down, but able to force staff himself forward. And see if Chen can get anyone slowed down or damaged with that penitence, but doesn't look like they're able to get the catch. Coconut bouncing. Who's it going to bounce to? They get the Maledict off onto 2. Rage coming in. The arrow not going to latch onto our Lifestealer as he is magic immune. Do they stop to try to get the Shadow Demon? There they go. They drop him. And they're able to get that kill. So now it's going to be Invoker and Shadow Demon still in the grave. Necroman as well. Huge killing spree going the way of the Drow. She is just all of a sudden raking in the gold. My God, that's going to feel good for her. She's got, well, basically the makings of her next full item. That fight was not ideal.
All right, yeah, that one wasn't very good. At the very least, Roche wasn't on like mega early spawn. Question mark, I have to take a timeout here. Like, whoa, boys,
Oh.
boys, we have some issues.
Something happened, and that's not good. Huh. So break it down. What just happened? What was the global exchange, and who's got the momentum shift right now?
Well, the Invoker, I think the Venge was certainly a surprise. I don't really blame the Invoker for being like, what the hell is this Venge doing here? Like, why isn't she in the base defending against my entire team? So I think Invoker made the right call. Just got a little bit, outplayed by Kefka near the end there. But taking down that mid lane of Arax, it's not the biggest deal because it was only 1. Had they gotten the second melee, it probably would have been GG. So it was a good job for ProDotA to be able to hold that one off, then getting the kill on the Lifestealer. It's closing out on that window, I think, for this Drow lineup. I mean, yeah, you can go way later with Drows than you used to be able to thanks to Aghanim Scepter and whatnot, but like she's Mask of Madness. She's almost got the eggs, but no secondary damage items, so this is the big play. Lifestealer is still down, and Sand King, Invoker, super scary. Oh, that's
Tornado connects him the Mirana, though. They do get the EMP off on a couple, so some mana's being burned. Shen's now got nothing. Kefka is going to be having to sit back and try to get himself back down, but the Force Staff wasn't able to get him down to the lower part of the map. So he's going to be leaving high ground here. Do they have any follow-up? Ogre's got that Fire Blast, but not enough speed there. They're able to just book it back. So ProDotA, they go in, they lay in a little bit of harass, and don't lose anything in return aside from some mana on this Chen. And now their lanes are pushed out decently far. Oh, Sunstrike. Not going to clip on anyone. Just
Did
nice
he
little...
see the Roche, though? I think he did,
He
right?
saw that the Roche respawned, but he didn't see that Dire heading for that pit. I mean, they probably know. The problem is, can they leave their base for long enough to actually go and contest the Roche? It looks like no. They're just sitting back trying to keep their lanes pushed out. And this second Roche of the game will be going to ProDotA. Drow Ranger grabs it up, so extending that window of Drow's push power just a little bit. And now she's got enough gold for that Aghanim Scepter. She's going to fly it out to herself.
I feel like that Tornado was questionable.
It was
like
early. It clipped on the Mirana, which is great because there's no huge Starstorm initiations, but you really had to get that Drow. You got to get the Witch Doctor. You got to get those control tempo heroes.
Because there's no defensive items on the Dire. If you hit a 3-man Tornado, you quite literally would have just won this game without question. So it kind of felt like one of those moments like where you kind of wait for them to at least get in position where they're sieging and then make the decision off of that. Even if you killed 2 heroes or like hit 2 heroes with that Tornado, Sand King was ready. There would have been a blink play. He wasn't being tagged up by MDL or anything like that. He had everything ready to go. But yeah, it's just like kind of like a greedy like stall play. Maybe he was thinking that they would have stuck around, but with Lifestealer respawning, that seems unlikely. And then that drove them back into Roche and put ProDotA in the exact position they want to be. So, Question mark definitely not like down, but I think that this game has come back to even at this point. Net worth aside.
Overall XP really starting to slide back in favor, so those levels are starting to go the way of ProDotA. Now 2 pickups at the same time. We got a Chen Ags and a Drow Ags on the board, so now we got Split Shot coming out, just spraying everywhere. Wouldn't be surprised to see like a Mjolnir up next or Maelstrom, just something nice, casual. Get the Tesla Ranger online, and now Chen, you can go pick up some Ancients, get those Black Dragons. Those are some nice little push creeps. So again, extending that power push window for the Drow strat.
I really hope Garter just, well, he might buy Maelstrom now just because he is the Aegis, but he needs BKB. If he has BKB, this game just feels so much better for him. I can't believe Chen Aghanims used to be what it was. Like, this thing used to be on a cooldown of something ridiculous. It was like 30 or 40 seconds. Can't remember, but the fact that it got nerfed and people are still buying the Aghanim Scepter really shows you just how ridiculous this thing was. Like, it was just dumb. I don't even know how it lasted that long. In fact, I'm gonna have to look it up right now.
Oh, up top, we are going to have a little bit of push in. Necroman maybe in some trouble. There's going to be a blink forward from our new BKB Mirana, but they just can't catch up to the Lifestealer. So, oh god, blink in. Our Sand King, he's having some fun. Just grabbed himself up to the high ground, swings back home, and now everyone's able to defend the base, and everyone back on their side of the map. Not quite ready to go full YOLO yet. You've still got your Drow Ranger with that Aegis, but it's only going to be there for about 2 more minutes. So they've got to get something done if they want to start having some fun. Looks like bottom lane's going to be the play. Can they keep Lifestealer locked down, though? He's got that Rage on cooldown. He's going to get silenced up. They're going to be able to bring in the Mirana as well. Now, again, he does have that Rage, but no TP. He's caught with his pants down here in this top lane. He can't get away. Although Invoker, he's coming in. Arise. He's going to be hopping into the Chen creep. They take out the Chen. They bring in the Ogre. So it looked like an unprepared Lifestealer is bailed out by his very prepared teammates.
That was quite the counter, eh? Lifestealer to Chen. I mean, they picked the Chen into the Lifestealer, but the fact that you get this Aghanim Scepter and you bring your first Ancient Creep and it just gets infested, and you're like, oh yeah, that's still
That's
a
the
thing,
thing
eh?
that can happen.
Yeah. Like that, okay, I actually have cast so many Chen games and I still had to double check. This ulti used to go to 30 seconds. Can you believe that? 30 seconds.
30 seconds for just a
that was so
global
broken.
mech that's just stupid good.
It's
Just like, oh, it seems like we're in a little
Oh,
bit of trouble.
God.
These creeps are hitting me a little too hard. Can I have some heals? And oh yeah, well, it's nerfed, but it's still strong, and it's still something that Chen
Indeed
should grab
it
up.
is. All right, can Arise win this game right now? Can they kill the Mirana? No. Penguin check. 2 spare. He's out of there.
Yeah. Now up in the top lane, they're trying to get that chase again. They do have the Force Staff from the vent, but just can't catch yourself up. They don't get in range for that stun swap. It's really hard to get that Lifestealer. You got to get that Chen net creep up, but he's having some trouble keeping his creeps alive now. Sunstrike. Kefka just eats it, but shouldn't be that much of a trouble. Just, again, continuing to move forward. I mean, they're chasing the
All on the
Ogre
arrow.
to the ends of the earth. Hey! Nope.
That was close. Okay, so Aegis almost expiring. 1 minute to go, draft strat, and I don't think they're going to get anything out of this one. So with that expiring, I would assume Garda will pick up some form of defense. Maybe he'll just YOLO.
He's got to try.
I'd like a BKB.
You'd like a BKB? Lifestealer.
I would like to see one.
Lifestealer's going to be grabbing up his Basher, so it could be an Abyssal next. He's already got the full Assault Cuirass. Like, this guy is just slotted. He's top of the net worth chart by a really large margin. The problem is turning that into push and sustainability and kills. It seems like both teams have just been kind of running around the map, not finding a whole lot of big cohesive team fights because no one really wants to be the first one to go down. Now Tornado
blink.
comes in, clips onto the Chen. They've got the Infest Bomb to get him down, so no more Hand of Gods for you. The Ice Wall means Vengeful Spirit cannot do a whole lot. She's going to try to zip herself down to the low ground, but she's still picked off, so 2 free kills. Roshan obviously not up yet. Drow Aegis is going to expire right about now. And the rest of the Radiant lineup feels safe pushing in towards that mid lane.
Yeah, that was the gem back too. And no Chen ulti. This fight's certainly going to be favoring them. Nothing really wasted besides Tornado for that. I was going to say this is a game where you'd want to see a blink on Necroman, but as long as, you know, you're just infesting in this Invoker blink, it's fine.
Oh. Fortify being used, but buyback from the Venge may not be enough. Again, the Chen, he's got a lot of control tools, and all his creep army's dead. There's a swap forward. Kefka goes in,
Not
stuns
fast enough.
onto this Ogre, but split target syndrome at its finest. They cannot decide who they want to initiate on, and it's going to cost them their lives. Leap back from Iran, she's going to be BKB'd up. Coconut not going to be bouncing onto Pwn. He's got the Lifestealer inside him if they want to reinitiate. Now forced back from the Lifestealer. He's silenced up, but he's still alive. Unfortunately, the Shadow Demon could go down, but nice disruption. They're going to try to reinitiate on this. The Hand of God comes back in, but Garter going to get stun locked in place. Ding, ding, ding. Now there's just very few buybacks left in the field. The Drow Ranger gets herself back in. That's 3 buybacks committed for the Dire, and they are able to get down the Lifestealer here, so that could be a turning point. Marana leaping forward. She's got the Starstorm up in 4 seconds. Ogre, though, turns. He's got the stun available. They get the lockdown onto Pink Vinsec and the Sunstrike, but the damage is going to be split. Emperor does go. Arise, though, he's manning up. He's going to get a dieback on that Marana, looking to go in onto the Chen as well, but there's going to be the Yules coming up, trying to buy himself some time. He's going to hop in to that Invis form, but they've got vision, and that's going to be a killed Invoker. What is happening here, Mott Pax?
Everyone whiffed their combos.
What is this? What is this?
Like, the choke was real. No, I mean, that's just a really tough fight to take, but the way that initiated, ProDotA almost won that fight in the first 10 seconds because they swapped back the Lifestealer, and they were trying to do a swap gust at the exact moment so they wouldn't have time to rage, but they slightly missed it. Like, he got swapped in, and then there was, like, a half a second where there's a chance for Guider to get off that silence, but maybe there was a miscommunication, so he popped the rage just in time as the gust washed over him. If they got that silence down, he just would have been dead, like straight up. Maybe Arise would have hit a crazy tornado and got it, but this is what you see. They come down. The big pushback from the Drow lineup. Don't really want to waste buybacks. Understandable.
Sand King up in the air, just gonna have his time spent as these ancient creeps. I mean, they're really trying to munch down this Rax, and after the fortify, no one actually takes care of the ancient creeps, so they will lose a full set of Rax off the back of that.
Yeah, this is just, it's totally fine for the Radiant. They're okay giving that up because now they have buyback advantage and they have a full 5 minutes to just push in. So if it's an early Roche, that's the best case. Fortunately for the Dire, they don't have any way to like sit a creep inside the Roche pit, whereas the Dire do thanks to Chen. So they'll have a really good idea. They can just keep sunstriking it from the Radiant side. But essentially, if Roche spawns in the next like two minutes or so, if it's very quick, then they're just going to go high ground with it, and what are you going to do? Like, with buybacks and with Aegis, there's virtually no way ProDotA can win it. So, they have to play really quick Dota. They need to get around this map. If they can find a pick-off and start destabilizing, question mark, like if one hero's dead and they don't feel that comfort to actually group up and do something, then they might be able to do it. But for now, things looking pretty rough here, I would say, for ProDotA.
Yeah, I mean, just the net worth over 10,000 now, ticking up 37 minutes in. I mean, you pick this lineup to have incredible push potential, and there's one lane of Rax down, which, you know, check that one off the list, but there's still so much more to accomplish before you can let the late game roll around. And this Life Stealer, he's still just having the time of his life. Now, Arrow coming in. Invoker not going to fall prey to that one. Now, nice vision being placed up. I like this word from the Witch Doctor, but can they deal with the onslaught of Radiant damage? Pinkvinsec dropping the arrows, dropping what he's got. Now there's going to be that Invis coming back out of the Mirana. Nice little tornado does clip onto the Drow Ranger. Can they keep Garter up? She's force-staffing herself away. Meanwhile, you got the Witch Doctor letting that base drop, but Sand King not going to have that. Necroman getting really, really low here. Goes down. Very, very nice kill there. And Chen able to get the Sand King down as well. We're going to have the TP out from the Shadow Demon. Can they get him in time? Well, he's going to get back home, but he's got none of his carries to help him out. If ProDotA ever had a window handed to them to go take the tier 3s, this is it.
Yeah, Arise spent buyback to buy his BKB. Like, he was probably just like, yeah, no, I can just full out buy it because I'm only 100 gold away. I'll just go farm it. But with his death cost, he's now 170 away, and he won't have it.
Gotta watch that reliable gold, man. So just
this
clean up
is
here.
not looking too good. Yeah, force that buyback.
They do have to cut their back door and wait for the creeps, which is going to buy enough time for Invoker to probably respawn.
Yeah,
Garter.
they should Roche.
Yeah,
they got it.
Going in towards the pit. There's a double damage rune just right there. Just
this is going to be so fast, actually. This is going to be
Yeah.
hilarious. Where is Garter? All right, 4.5 seconds, I think.
There he goes.
We'll see.
4.5. 1, 2.
All right, that is way tankier than I anticipated.
4. I mean, you're half right. It's like 7 or 8 seconds, but still, this thing is just dropping here. And there's going to be a Shadow Blade delivered to Drow Ranger. She's now going to grab herself, where the Aegis at? There she is. Taking up the Aegis. The cheese is going to be going the way of our Mirana. So she's now got pretty much a second life as well. If she's not stun locked into oblivion, she could just gobble that up.
Wait, they didn't wave a terror. All right, I feel validated.
Right, they didn't
now.
wave of terror, so that's why it took so long.
that's
Otherwise,
fine. Yeah,
it would have been
I feel
4.5 seconds.
Totally.
I'm sure. I'm
Totally,
absolutely
guys.
sure that's how the negative armor works.
Yeah, I totally did the math. That's fine. So at this point now, Invoker will have buyback, I'm sure, very shortly, but they've lost buyback advantage. Now they've also lost Roche advantage. Excellent play by ProDotA. Grouping up as 5 and coming down that jungle in a pretty unexpected spot, especially for a Drow lineup, was exactly what they had to do. Because if they just sat back and waited, they were going to lose. Like, there's virtually no way. And with a very tough lineup to do some sort of a play like that, a really scrappy fight in the trees, even the ultimates were thrown out by question mark. Like, the Epicenter got off. It eliminated Kefka. But they brought... Oh, and now Emperor! Actually had a rough spot.
What?
That was really close.
Oh, I just said Ember, like Ember Spirit. And I'm like,
No,
there's not one of those unless I've really not been paying attention. But yeah, nice little smoke rotation in, but they are scouted out, so they're just sitting back and pushing. I mean, this last couple of minutes, I feel, is... Yeah, ProDotA are playing this one well and taking the advantage that's been given to them, but it's more just question mark, making a couple of questionable plays just like that. No buyback on the Invoker. Some of the missed tornadoes from Arise have been windows for ProDotA to get an unnecessary advantage.
Yeah, they're certainly in a tough spot here. And I guess Necroman, like, he's still a pretty big issue. They don't have the best control for him. Just overall, like, they can swap him pretty much, right? But if he actually gets on top of something like this Drow or something while he's raged up, life will be hard. For now, they're just trying to keep pushing out, so they have 1, 2, 3 full minutes here to try and hold back this Aegis. And with the Sand King, they might be able to do. Does not have Aghanim Scepter. Pone just not quite able to find the farm in the later stages of this one.
Emperor doing a good job cleaning up these creeps. And
That
Pone
is-
just Radiant, they're ready to go. They drop the Venge immediately, and they are going to get the slow on the Mirana, but they got to be careful. There's still a couple of dire heroes that would more than lovely just be able to rip them apart. Now Ping Vensek is going to be BKB, just dropping out those right clicks, but the Witch Doctor's getting low. Just the raw right clicks of the Shadow Demon Illusions doing some serious work to him. Now come with me, ready to drop another set of... Oh,
What just happened? What was this play? So you have a sieging Mirana, and the plan is to swap her back with your Venge. So, like, then your Venge dies, because that's what's going to happen, and then your Mirana pops BKB, but your Mirana only has Aghanim Scepter and bots, so she doesn't do any damage right-clicking, so she's just standing there tickling a Lifestealer, who walks away and lives,
yeah,
and now, they didn't
don't-
even spend anything to kill Venge. They spent Meatball. That was a really weird
one of my
setup
big
by
problems with
inside of
that is
ProDotA.
usually the swap is to kind of isolate heroes, but you bring the Mirana closer to you when she's got a double Starstorm, which is not something you typically want to bring near your squishy heroes. Either way, Pone going to be scrambling away here. He does not have a TP, so he's got a long road ahead of him. Arrow, just going to fly right past him, but they are able to get a little bit of vision here. They're on a wild goose chase right now. Sunstark going to be off the mark, but Mirana, she's got to be privy to where this is at, leaping right over him. Just leapfrogging this motherfucker.
Do they have scan? Oh, they wasted it up there. Do they think so? Alright, let's see if they figure out that this is the last spot he could be.
Nope. looks like they're just walking right on in. Radiant, they're going to be going in. There's going to be another swap onto the Invoker. They're going to get him up in the air, but he's able to blink back home, so nothing fruitful coming of that. Meanwhile, the Sand King, he's bailed out. Oh, but Mirana spotted him. Mirana's going for it. He burrow strikes himself back in. Oh, just barely dodges the arrow. He's going to be getting out okay. Now, meanwhile, back in the lane, we are going to have a nice deafening blast from the Invoker connecting, but Invoker's stuck in the trees. His blink is now pretty much indefinitely canceled. Unfortunately, our Witch Doctor's not able to actually get in and punish. There is going to be that Aegis popped out from the Drow Ranger. She's coming back full health, full mana. If this is the time for them to go, it's right now. There's going to be that Yule's up, canceling the Venge's TP. Garter will go down. Now this is time for the Radiant to get in there and assert their dominance. Vengeful Spirit, while she drops Witch Doctor, the only survivor, sitting back in his base, just scratching his head. What the hell went on there, dude? Pone lived the entire time.
Yeah. I don't know. The late game Dota, everyone's tense. Everyone's like trying to find that one kill they think will secure them the game. So you make weird plays, thinking if I just get this, we win. Like that's kind of where that
wild
comes
goose
in.
chase onto the Sand King was just,
in
my opinion, a little bit too clowny. Now
it hurt them.
you've got question mark. They really want to push in, but there are creeps down in their bottom. They've really got to go back and defend that. It looks like they're making the executive call to bail out and not push their advantage here. They forced out a buyback from ProDotA, and that's probably all they're looking for right now.
Yeah, because they were on the buyback advantage and then they missed their timing. That means now ProDotA were on the buyback advantage because there's still a little bit of cooldown left on the side of the Radiant. So Lifestealer's got a minute and a half and then a minute left on the Sand King. So they don't want to commit to anything until those are back up. They could fully wait for the Roche if they would like, but if they find one, some kind of a pick off, I'm sure they'll just end up going for it. Arise, he just sold. He bought and then he sold a full soul booster. So I think that means he's probably going to hold buyback, which would be a wise decision. Jeez, that really hurt his reliable gold, though. 3,400 unreliable gold now, but that's fine. Doesn't end up mattering because your death cost is, 630 anyway.
So, I don't know what's going on with Invoker, but he sounds like he's just in a cement mixer, so we're going to just not be in that half of the map. Ogre's having some struggles. So overall momentum of the game, net worth is back up in favor, 10,000 for question mark. It dipped real low down there when ProDotA was able to actually get themselves down bottom and take a lane of racks, but it seems like question mark. They're getting the fights. Now they've got the momentum just from the raw draft of their heroes. The Drow is going to fall off. The Chen's falling off. The Witch Doctor can't do really a whole lot. But can question mark actually get in and end the game? They're having some serious trouble getting up to the high ground, breaking the tier 3s, dealing with ProDota's high ground defense.
That's true. I mean, again, like that swap play, had that worked the previous siege, it would have been over in an instant. So it's all on Kefka pretty much synergizing with his team into some sort of a silence play if they just want to end this one outright. But it's a tough lineup to just like peck at a tower up against. At the same time, though, Question Mark 2 is a pretty sick initiation. Like one tornado and this game could just be over.
Mm-hmm. I mean, our
with the
lifestealer
blink
here.
BKB now too.
Our lifestealer's the big hope. He's tanky. He's now got the Abyssal Blade, so we can lay down the damage. But again, when the BKB is starting to come out on ProDotA, it's difficult. You got your Drow Ranger. I mean, she went for the Shadow Blade, as opposed to the Maelstrom, as opposed to the BKB. So she's got a little bit more escape. Now, where did our gems end up? We had at least 2 of them in the game at one point, right? Ogre, he's sitting on
I think it's
one.
only been one jumping
been
back
one?
and forth.
Right,
Emperor
so-
bought this at like the start of the game, and it's just been leapfrogging between teams.
Yeah, okay, so it is only 1 gem sitting on the Ogre, and no vision other than that. So unless Ogre's nearby, you can't quite catch the Drow Ranger. The Moonlight Shadow's not going to be that spooky, but still could get some stuff done.
Oh boy. So the play is you infest inside the Invoker, you bloodlust him / the Lifestealer if you can first, and then they blink in, he BKBs, make sure nothing can stop him unless it's a swap. Lifestealer pops out, he abyssals one person, you have that perfect tornado on everyone else, and then that should just be it. Like, if they're even like, what positioning can you even achieve that's gonna stop that from happening realistically? If like Radiant ever make it up to a dire side base, I would think that they've got this one. That's what I would think, but you never know.
Dude, Raz is still in that cement mixer. It's having some fun. It's the meatball noise, but it's just... God, it's like
going.
the TP when you pause. It never stops, dude. You just TPing forever.
The one that gets me is when you're in like the draft screen or something, and you put your mouse off to the side, and it wanders, because you know how like the screen actually moves? Have you
Yep.
ever noticed that?
Yep,
So you can
yep.
be like over the waterfall while the draft is going, and you're just like, oh, what the hell is that noise? And
I
think, like,
have that almost
like my
all
furnace
the time.
is going, and I'm just like, oh shit! I think you have to like drag your mouse to the side of the screen. Yeah, the things you guys just might not. Well, you guys might have had it when you're
Dude,
watching
caster
VODs.
inside struggles. Yeah, if you ever hear
Yeah.
like fucking weird noises right in the draft, it's because there's like map shit going on. Either way, Garter's sitting back. I mean, he's hitting real hard. He's hitting for almost 300 damage a pop.
Pow!
Survivability is an issue though.
Where's,
I mean,
where's
Garter.
the Venge? Oh, look at that damage with the Venge.
Oh baby, look at that, 200.
Oh. Yeah, survivability is an issue. You are correct.
I did an analysis. Either
That
way,
is a fact.
TP's up to the top lane. We've got our Mirana really trying to drive off this hold. We got doodles all over the map, scribbles coming in, but 3 heroes from Question Mark. They're looking to actually just assert themselves in this top lane. Finally, get themselves up onto the high ground. You got your Lifestealer joining the party here. He's got 1,200 gold on top of the Abyssal, which is not enough for buyback, but well,
God,
okay.
look at this creep push bottom with the Drought Aura active. Like, this range creep is just doing work. Like,
Oh, just
take that.
laying in
Oh.
61 damage. Just, oh, baby.
That is absurd. All right, it has been disabled now.
Oh. I mean, he's still trying, though. Deafening Blast. Let's take a look at Rangy. How long does Rangy live through this? Oh, man. Rest in peace, dude. That's not a good way to go.
2 heroes down here?
Well, looks like soon to be 1 hero down here if they can actually catch up to this Chen. But, of course, Ogre.
One gem.
He's going in. They got the vision. Oh, the Burrow Strike just slightly too late. They're not able to lock him down. That should have been an easy kill, but again, keeping your gem on the Ogre as opposed to the Invoker, the Sand King, the ones that are actually up in the fights. And that just cost him a kill.
Oh man, that hurts. That was so close. It was like a unit. Own definitely probably feeling pretty disappointed in that one. He's now 1,400 gold away from buyback and Aghanim Scepter. So at least he's got that going for him. But split push, very successful right now from ProDotA. They're doing it. I mean, this blinking Mirana. Yeah, she doesn't do the most right-click damage, but she certainly has a ton of split push with this bots, Yules, Aghanim Scepter. And the BKB just means that it's pretty difficult for her to get caught out. Obviously, if there was some sort of a chain stun scenario, she may be, but most part, she should be fine. Not often you see like any sort of Invoker lineup, honestly, especially with a Sand King being beat out in split push, but not being Quas Exort, not having bots. They're pretty slow.
Yeah, I mean, he's got 3,000 gold, and the phase boots haven't really been bringing him a whole lot of fortune in the last couple of minutes, so wouldn't be surprised to see those swapped out, but I think he's definitely learned his lesson from from buying out that BKB and not having buyback. He cannot afford to be going down without buyback at this point in the game. We're 48 minutes in the game. Somehow Drow Chen lineup is still doing pretty okay. Net worth is 14,000 in favor of the Radiant, but it all comes down to whose throne stays standing at the end.
So where were we at half this time? So 24 minutes. There was a 6K lead for question mark against the Drow lineup. It's very impressive that they held out that long, honestly. I mean, you can see now there's been another huge swing back up in their favor since that weird fight at the racks and then the chase around Pwn and whatnot, and they've regained a giant, you know, it looks like this dip never happened, you know, that steady climb. We're back to where they feel like they should have been. Just
ignore this. Just
bloop,
wipe it from the record. It's all just been steadily
uphill.
Get the white
out, boys. It never happened. I'm sure ProDotA will be fine with that. They're like, yeah, no, nothing happened. It's steady climb. Didn't throw.
Right. Drow Ranger, she's sneaky. The Roshan, they're going in, they're trying to stack it, but the Sunstrike actually happens when the Roche is not in the pit. Oh, Radiant have got to be confused by that.
Trying to I wish that worked.
Stacking the Roche, you got to do it exactly every 8 minutes, and it works.
Yeah, exactly. And it has to be right on that random 3-minute time again, so you don't even know.
All right. Unfortunately, Kefka just gets 8. But there could be a reinitiation. You got the Witch Doctor coming in. There's going to be a gust from the Drow Ranger. Witch Doctor looking to drop the base. Is able to get off the Death Ward. Necroman taking a little bit of damage from that. The Tornado, though, comes in. Clips onto the Witch Doctor. Definitely Blast doing some damage to him. But Witch Doctor's still there. There's going to be the Hand of God trying to help him out. Garter's still alive. Ping Vinsec going to get slowed down here. Chen, he's now the focus of the aggression. Necroman getting low, but he's still fighting. 2 hits onto the Witch Doctor, and it's all over. Ping Vinsec will be falling as well. The gem on the deck. The Drow, the only survivor. You got Drow Illusions pushing in bottom, but I think that's not going to be enough to stop this onslaught coming in from top, but they've really got to go back and either get the creep momentum or focus the mid lane because they can't do anything bottom. It looks like the call is going to be just rotate back, enjoy the kills, maybe wait for the creep equilibrium to hit, maybe try to cut through a little bit of backdoor here with Necroman, but not exactly.
Why are they going back for Drow Illusions?
Because
I guess they don't know about
creep
buyback.
Equilibrium, yeah. I mean,
well, they should know about buybacks.
I got some questions.
Whatever, it's fine. They're going to get it anyway.
Yep.
Oh no, the back door's now enabled.
Yep.
Oh, that's fine.
I mean, they needed the equilibrium, but again, Necroman, they've got just raw power there. So they are able to get the melee racks, and they back off unscathed, which is pretty good. Getting 4 heroes down, forcing a buyback or so, and question mark didn't lose anything of super value there. Again, just backing off to deal with the illusions may have cost them potentially the full lane of racks, but at this point, they can afford to do stuff like that because it's not going to be throwing the game for them anytime soon. It's still going to keep up that slow, steady increase in net worth.
And they all have buybacks. So now the Dire will as well, as that timer's starting to tick down on our Mirana and our Drow. Well, I should say the most important ones will.
It's going to be Aegis and Cheese going the way of question mark again. We got this bottom lane being cleared out by our little Lifestealer bomb. I mean, Lifestealer, he's pretty slotted. What else can he change out? He can sell his phase if he really, really wants to. He can upgrade that Echo Saber, but he's pretty much just done doing Lifestealer farming things and wants to do Lifestealer killing things. Kefka, well, he's got something to say about that. There is going to be a TP in, eating up that creep, so canceling the Boots of Travels from Mirana, and now just unloading onto the Venge. Hand of God comes in. Glimmer Cape ain't going to save you now, bitch. They are going to lose that Shadow Demon, and now Necroman's in some serious trouble. There's not much he can do up against this Witch Doctor ulti. They are going to bring in the Invoker and the Ogre to try to punish this, try to get some revenge.
Plays.
And this is enough. They are going to have that vision this time with the Ogre being close enough. There's another gem on the deck. No one seems to care. They are just after blood right now. Nice little short-range arrow connecting onto Pwn. That's going to be an easy kill. Maledict off the mark. But with a couple of arrows, maybe they're able to get the kill on the Ogre. Mirana.
That's buyback on MDL.
Oh, okay. Mirana's going to get dropped low here. Again, they still got that gem on the Ogre. I mean, they're just bloodlust in the Invoker, and now they're focusing on the Shadow Demon who bought back for this. That's a dieback. I got some questions.
What's happening?
I don't know, but there's a BKB Invoker. He's going to be dropping that Ice Wall, trying to get everyone down. The Witch Doctor's so gosh darn squishy, but he's just juking in and out of these fights, and now the Invoker, one of the lone survivors, getting slowed down by the Frost Arrows. You got the move speed from the Mask of Madness, but they don't have vision. Just stop along the way, pick up this gem in the trees. It's prime for the taken, Drow, but unfortunately, it's still going to be a mystery. What happened?
This is such a cloudy game.
Do me an analysis. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, no, I don't think there's much to say on that one. That's just, kind of an awkward engagement to start, right? I think question mark felt like there was no way they could lose it, so they just start going in kind of one by one. Like it wasn't a full synced up initiation, but the second you see that TP coming in from the Mirana, and you're like, oh, I can cancel this, and now you know that you're outnumbering them, or at least you assume so. So it's like my guys are going to get here faster than her now, so I want to fight. Necroman went down so quick though. Like he was just dropped in that engagement. He does now buy up the bots. He can probably sell his armlet. Honestly, I wouldn't still mind seeing a blink. I think if he can just get on top of somebody. Wait, is that the lone gem? The gem.
No, it's not the lone gem. There's Ogre's gem, and then Ogre had a gem. There's 2 gems now. This was
Drow's gonna find it. Oh, she's not gonna find it.
Someone's got to know the gems there because someone died and dropped
it. But it doesn't, of course, show on the mini map. So
Witch Doctor has Ogre's gem, the one that's been in the game.
Oh, Sankey just bought one
for a Okay, so now we have 3 gems. One is still unclaimed in the forest. One's on Witch Doctor, and one is on Ogre again. Okay.
So funny.
So
and look, both teams have vision of it right now, but not that you would look up here, right? Just some creeps chilling.
I mean, the thing is, someone had to have died and dropped the gem, and is that something
but
that
you assume the other team took it?
But I feel like you check. You look at the battleground and you check, because they got vision right now. I don't know.
Well, it's just gonna be a lone gem, the creeps gem.
The gem belongs to the land now. It returned from whence it was harvested.
Slowly erode back down, go into the earth.
Just decay.
Get all metamorphosized. That'd be great.
Oh, look at that. You know your geology.
Oh, do I?
I had like a geology-themed dream last night. It was just, I was calling myself a nerd in my sleep. Anyway.
Were you sleeping on bedrock? Ha! Like a bed.
Alright, we're just going to go ahead and mute mop packs for the rest of the cast here. We've got the Invoker moving up the lane, just trying to clear out creeps with a very awkwardly played Deafening Blast, but, you know, whatever. It's up in 2 seconds now. So he's got that Octarine, he's got the BKB at 6 charges, he's got 5,000 gold. Did replace out his boots with those boots of travels, but it's all about the initiations. You can have as many items in the world, but if you can't actually find the other team, well, it's all kind of useless.
Alright, here we go. The Invoker Illusions play.
We're trying there. Let's see what goes on. Who's going to be the first to force back? Because it's kind of a game of chicken now. It looks like ProDotA, they're just kind of worming their way into the bottom lane where there's no racks. Go in for that final tier 4, take the Ancient. All right. Similar story here with Invoker. Just moving in towards that mid lane. Still got 2 tier 4s to cut through, but it's such a split game.
Oh, okay.
Your Drow's sitting back in the jungle, but
I was just looking at her items like, but she has Chen. Assuming Chen sends her back to TP.
Invoker just comes in here. He's now dealing with the creeps on his tier 4s. Everyone's afraid to fully initiate here. When
they're trying to bait the Mirana.
They are, and now there's going to be TPs back, but the rest of the team is smoked up. There's going to be a Sunstrike, not going to connect, and I mean, I've just generally... Oh, God, it's happening. There's a swap back in. They are going to get the Shadow Demon down. It's going to be popping out. He pops into that self-disrupt. Now leap back from the Mirana. They're going to be munching onto this Chen. He's got the Hand of God, but not enough time to cast it off. So Chen's dead. He has buyback. Tornado coming through. Will clip onto the Witch Doctor and the Creep Wave, but Drow comes in, lands a nice little gust arrow onto Necroman. That's going to be huge. Nice ulti from the Witch Doctor sitting away in the woods. There's going to be a buyback from the Chen. The Hand of God to keep everyone alive. The Drow Ranger, though, still taking serious damage. Will get forced down. Invoker with a Deafening Blast gets that kill. Now Emperor going to Yule himself up in the air, but I think his corpse hits the deck once he's out. He force taps himself back. He's alive, and now they're looking to clean up the rest of the Dire team. Oh my God, they lost the Life Stealer, but there was a buyback forced out on the Chen, and they get the Drow Ranger down along with the Venge. Mirana, she leaps away to safety, but that was costly for ProDotA.
Yeah, I mean, Sanking Dota, good stuff. You know, still no BKBs or anything, so he is just, I mean, Mirana, yes, but still nothing on the Drow, nothing on, like, your Vengeful Spirit or anything like that, so he just finds 1 2-man Burrow Strike. I mean, that's just fight winning, honestly. Like, well, as long as your Invoker's still alive and throwing out right clicks. Oh, this is crazy.
Is it over yet? I've been closing my eyes just to make sure it ends. All right.
Top lane, Mirana.
Invoker, you walked right past the gem, and it was in vision, sir.
I mean, you're not looking at your hero.
He's got an open slot.
Now they see it. They see the gem.
It's pinged. Shit. It's pinged. They got it. Pwn got it. It's all good. So now there's going to be 2 gems on the side of question mark. They've got 1 on the Sand King, 1 on the Ogre Magi, and they're going to finish this thing out. It's been a very back and forth game, but still sitting about 12,000 in favor of question mark.
Yeah, but gold is all that matters right now is the buybacks. But of course, that in the end does favor question mark because they already had that kind of like a base net worth lead. Is okay, Marana. She is the one person who's farming though.
Okie dokie. We have got a Dagon level 3. Looks like we're going to be just upgrading the rest of that. But very smart, not spending too much money here. Still sitting on that buyback. It is available. Overall net worth still. You've got your Invoker and your Lifestealer top of the charts. Marana and Drow not too far behind, but Drow's losing that momentum. I mean, it's 58 minutes in the game. You don't expect a push strat to still be holding on, but Drow's now building up like that traditional position 1 core. I'm just amazed Shen is still doing all right here. He looks like he's going in for a sheep stick, and he might be able to get it pretty soon.
Yeah, the items are coming out. Witch Doctor's like, buyback? I don't need buyback. I need Aghanim Scepter. Let's go.
Yep. I mean, that ward, the last couple of times, has been doing so much work because no one wants to focus down the Witch Doctor. They want to focus down the Drow, the Marana, the Vengeful Spirit, these really teamfight impactful heroes. And, I mean, we saw down there in the bottom lane, Witch Doctor was just diddling himself over here in this corner, dropping the ward for full duration.
Well, they did you really?
Either
way, they have they do have 2 gems now, thanks to the one found up top. So that is certainly going to hurt the Witch Doctor and plenty of stuns. So this time, I'm not sure he'll get away with the Glimmer Cape. He's going to try though, I'm sure, and you know, maybe he can find that perfect moment. Yeah. I swear I had some sort of a point I was going to make before you said diddling. All right, here we go. Scythe on the Chen. All right, the other one was this Aghanim Scepter on the Drow has done way more work than I anticipated without a secondary damage item.
Yeah.
Like some of those splinters onto like the Ogre Magi and stuff have actually been pretty huge to bring down one of those tankier supports like that.
Your Sand King. I like this positioning here. He's just sitting on top of the world. He's got the Epicenter ready. Again, still sitting on the gem.
All right, Infest is ready.
They're going in. If they're not going in now, they're
God.
just not going in. They're sitting back.
They're waiting
it out. They're looking for the perfect opportunity. Gotta give them respect for that. But at the same time, if you never push, you're never gonna win. Now Scan comes out. Radiant sees that Dire Heroes are wrapping up towards the secret shop. This could be a nice little initiation point. You've still got your Sand King sitting up on this cliff.
Pwn has no TP.
Pwn got nothing. I mean, he can blink
Witch Doctor
away.
is holding wards. Oh my god, can you imagine? This is how the game
I mean, Witch Doctor has an observer.
Yeah, I know. He's just chilling with it. Just like wanders up. He'd have to epi him, honestly. I don't think he'd have another choice. Oh god, Drow's now nearby. Invisible.
Oh,
he's dead.
They get him. He's going to go force himself down to the low ground. There's going to be Moonlight Shadow, but a nice little blink away into the Burrow Strike. He just made a lot of space for himself. Now Arise. He's going to be going in. They force staff him in. He's going to pop his BKB and run away.
Oh, Lord.
That was a little bit trigger happy there. He didn't quite know where it was going. It was a swap in. It was a force staff out. It was blinks and what? I don't even...
How did Pwn live? What a player. I guess because the Witch Doctor like force staffed himself and they totally weren't expecting it. So you have that like full like second of reaction time from ProDotA where they're like, what do you mean there's a Saiyan King up on the high ground? And he's able to find that nice little force staff blink play. Woo! Everyone's a little clenchy here. Into the Roche Pit we go. Everyone up, everyone online. Don't really have the wombo combo from the side of ProDotA though.
Oh, we're going to have some going down. Nice little Deafening Blast here. Garter going to eat most of an Epicenter and will be going down to our Ranger. Does have buyback. They're able to get up this Vengeful Spirit. Tornado going to be off the mark, but now another BKB up from Arise. Pwn sitting forward. There's not much else left in his inventory. There's going to be a Death Ward attempt from the Witch Doctor, but this time he's punished. Refresher Invoker comes in. Drow Ranger. She did.
That's it. It's over.
The dieback did happen. Okay. Now an Emperor going to be moving forward. Pink Finsec is going to get swapped back. Kefka now eating up the stuns. I think this is it. I think this is GG here. The rack's starting to get focused down. Tornado shooting forward. Shen finally punished. Pushed forward out of his base from that Deafening Blast, and that's going to be another Tornado clipping onto him. There's the Refresher just doing its magic. I mean, that was the secret ingredient, I guess. Now Marana dropping the Dagon, getting the Sand King down. There's a gem on the deck. Come with me. Escaping within an inch of his life. It's still going. It's not over. It's not over.
It's over. Please.
It's not over.
Goodness, that was, yeah, that TP back in. I can understand wanting to fight and everything, but Garter just, you know, one TP sometimes, game's just over.
I think the Drow Ranger still in the grave is going to be the difference of life and death here. So Ancient now exposed, the final tier 4 taken down. ProDotA, they are not tapping down unless it's really over. Garter ends up calling out that GG. There's a Hex, there's a Dagon, there's all sorts of goofy late game stuff, but in the end, question mark were able to take game number 1 of this 2-game series.
You mean there's more?
There's more Mont packs. Don't you worry. We are in for not 1, not 2, but 3 more ProDotA games today.
Oh, I hadn't even taken a look because it's Friends next, right?
Yeah,
versus
it's
ProDotA.
we have one more game of ProDotA versus question
Yeah.
mark, and then we move on to ProDotA versus Friends. But
Nice.
either way, that's going to conclude this match. Whew,
Well,
boy,
guys,
let's take a.
you don't want to miss game 2 after that.
I am excited if we see some more drow strats. Let's see some quirky drafts. Let's see like a mid Skywrath mage really get that blood pumping. But either way, this has been the Moonduck coverage of the Royal Arena Group B group stage games. Again, another game of ProDotA versus question mark coming up in just a couple of minutes. So sit tight, enjoy the music. See you guys in a few.